Hello everyone, my name is Hecthor Doomhammer and welcome to a replay cast in OpenRA. As you can see, I am as Germany am gonna fight Flamewh33l as Russia, and for this occasion I actually have Flamewh33l as my co-commentator. Hello.
How's it going?
So, we are on the map Northwest Passage. I'm in the top left and he is in the bottom right.
So, shall we start then?
In 3, 2, 1,
go.
Alrighty. So as you can see, I'm actually moving my MCV out, but Flamewh33l is immediately deploying. Got some spectators disconnecting.
Probably a bad idea what I did, since this map specifically wants you to do what Doomy did in order to benefit, although he could have moved a little bit further outward.
Indeed. As you can see, my build radius basically reaches all 4 of the ore fields around my base, whereas Flamewh33l only has direct access to 2. Now, I'm actually gonna go for a very odd build order in this one, and I'm kind of surprised that it works so well.
By the way, this is going to be blind for me, so I do not know what Doomy's doing.
And I've got no clue what Flamewh33l is doing, so it's gonna be blind for both of us on our opposite sides.
To be honest, I think Doomy kinda has an idea what I would do, but I don't have an idea what he's doing with this, so this is going to be an adventure.
Yes. So, you're slightly ahead of me, of course, because you were able to deploy right away. And there's my first refinery. And
bearing in mind you're also using your mouse only, I'm using a keyboard, so if we were to look at the APM, I should be eventually getting faster than you.
Indeed, and as you can see, I'm actually building a second refinery right off the bat. Now I'm training some infantry as well. You're spreading out your infantry. I'm actually going to train a cluster of infantry, including a couple of medics. There's the second refinery. And I believe that I was going to go for what next? Barracks, and then power, and then another refinery, I believe. So here's the second barracks. I'm going to put a power plant right over there. You're already a war factory. So yeah, in terms of tech I'm way behind, but I am trying to get some stuff done.
I am also behind on eco compared to Doomy, although due to the fact that he doesn't have a war factory, I am starting to regain that eco advantage.
Yes, but soon that will actually be diminished, because I am going to go for a third refinery. So I'm going to be placing it right over yonder. So what exactly were you doing? You just got 2 groups of 5, and I've got like a very big cluster of infantry.
Yes, you got a death ball. I just started off something small to give me a little bit of scouting information, so that I can at least defend my base.
There's your second refinery. There is my third refinery already. Still no war factory. And I think I'm gonna go for like 1 or 2 more barracks in the meantime.
You are going for an extra barracks. I have placed mine, and you're going for another barracks. So I've got 3 barracks, and you've got
3 as well.
3 as well. You're about to get a 4th one, and I'm about to go service depot.
Yes.
You also have a pillbox ready for defense, in case I scout you.
Yes, indeed. And I'm actually moving out with my first blob of infantry. Like, I've got no clue. I didn't do any scouting whatsoever. I couldn't really, but I was just like crossing my fingers like this might work. In the second group, I'm actually going to train some rocket infantry as well, as you see, a rocket soldier. Well, in the meantime, I'm building another power plant here. I'm going to place another refinery over here, so I've got all 4 of the fields covered.
I begin to move my MCV after I have placed the service depot, so that I actually then eventually get the ore patches I'm after.
Yes,
but I have completely no idea about this blob until it eventually starts to attack my ore trucks.
Indeed. So you're Ah, you're going for some flak trucks. Good early Soviet scouts.
Good for vision, but they weren't that good when I saw that.
2, 3, 4 barracks there. Here I come in. There we go. You're like, what the fuck is this?
And I finally get the concave and manage to kill off the medics because you did not send them behind your army to actually win the engagement. I was very lucky to survive with still a barracks. By this time I have 4 barracks, which equalizes, and I'm working on a second MCV.
Here I'm actually moving out with a second group that I'm actually growing as we speak. Here is my very first war factory, by the way. So I was actually going war factory before the 4th refinery. So I'm just sending out more infantry. I'm actually going to go for the opposite side this time, just trying to attack from the northeastern front. Getting a ore truck over here that I later move over to there because it actually didn't serve the purpose there.
Well, I'm just wondering, due to the name of the map being Northwest Passage, wouldn't that mean you've moved your forces to the north after attacking me from the west? If we be clever here.
No, I'm actually moving my forces currently to the east and then to the south. The passage is from northeast to southwest, or from northwest to southeast. Okay, so here's your infantry blob. Got some promotion from our first little conflict.
To be honest, I was actually expecting you to come back at the same direction so that I could at least hit you. I'm starting to get my heavy tanks rolling as well, so I have a bit more defense, and if I have to, go into combat.
I've just finished my second war factory, and I'm now moving in with my infantry blob.
Somehow you miss my second expansion, well, my expansion, so it's like, wow, I might be lucky. And I thought you were going to attack more northernly, so I have no forces and completely unprotected by the part where you're about to hit.
Indeed.
And you managed to hit me quite hard with the ore trucks, and even destroy a couple ore refineries.
Yeah, here we go, going for the refinery.
Hit my power as well, so actually everything had to be pushed back inward in an effort to win. Killed my
war factory, which was your only war factory.
Yep, and you killed off a conyard of mine somehow.
Yeah.
Which was really, really good of you.
This was an extremely good trade on my end. Like,
and
I had
you managed to hit another power plant.
Sure, why not?
And you were about to destroy my barracks, and I managed to save you. I managed to save the barracks again. By this time, I have 6 barracks, while Doomy only has 4, and 2 war factories, as well as a service depot. Indeed. And he is actually building stuff to regain himself.
4 refineries against your 2. 3, sorry, 3. I destroyed your 4th, so yeah.
Yes,
so
and I'm having to regain power.
This is where I decide to move through the middle, and I believe this is where I see your conyard over there, and I'm like, hey, wait, there we go.
Yeah, this is also when I start screaming my nads off, going, holy shit, I hope to God I managed to get this just in time. I had placed the power plant to give me the money, but I was not able to get to the husk in time. Indeed. I then thought that the game was TD, in the fact that in TD, engineers can capture husks to save them, but unfortunately that was not the case, and since I was Soviet, I only had hijackers, which meant if Doomy had another MCV, I would have been in better shape.
Now this is very unlike me. I'm actually retreating with my forces trying to save their lives. In the meantime, I'm coming in with 3 medium tanks.
Which literally don't do shit.
Indeed.
Seriously, they don't do shit once the rocket troopers get in.
Yep.
And I've got a lot of Bazooka Joes, which just literally obliterate
everything.
So I'm now here with an engineer, and I thought I would be sneaky, and somewhere later in the game, I actually went to try and capture, the war factory of me so that I could at least try to get myself another MCV and regain myself back in the game.
So over here, we actually see Flamewh being a bit annoying with his 2 flak trucks, with my 2 medium tanks. And there's another medium tank of mine, and I'm like, okay, here's a pillbox. I actually had to retreat this miner because, you know, I'm getting kind of dry over here with my eco.
Yes, but you were also starting to, as you were branching into the valuable minerals, I was starting to literally go, oh, hello, let me just give your harvesters a little tickle.
Yes, indeed. And here you move all the way. Here you move in, you actually managed to keep a heavy tank, which I...
You killed one of the heavy tanks, and then I still have one more that's back in my base, along with giant death ball.
I see that.
And here's where I send the engineer an effort to try and regain that bloody war factory. Unbeknownst to me, is there a camo pillbox in the way.
Yes. And I move in with my forces, I'm like, okay, let's just do damage.
The amount of rocket troopers managed to kill off the medium tanks, and the rifles managed to clean up after the enemy.
Yeah.
And I still managed to read the ore refinery with very little health.
This was a case of, like, numbers. Just numbers. There goes the engineer. I just happened to see that.
Yes, with your medium tanks. I actually didn't think you saw it. I was like, oh.
I didn't.
Yeah, I thought so. It was like, he's not A-moving and he's not paying attention. I think I might get away with this.
Yeah, so I'm trying to actually split up my tanks here. I've got 2 medium tanks here and 2 medium tanks there.
Unfortunately,
you had a lot of
medium tanks you had there literally died to my rocket troopers, and I'm getting more rocket troopers, and there's flame powers to give me an early warning sign.
Yes, indeed. So at this point, I'm just spamming infantry and medium tanks. I'm like, nothing else will work. I'm trying to sneak around. I'm trying to sneak around with my medium tanks down here, but again, just overwhelmed by the rocket troopers. It's like,
what you could have done if you had full of the radar tech, you would have had artillery, which would have meant you would have killed me big time before we even had it.
Yeah, but I was way busy just setting up my tier 1, tier 0. Like, I had 4 war factories, as you can see, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 barracks at this time, 4 refineries. I was just like, I need to make sure that I've got a grip on this map.
And I'm still here with like 6 barracks only, and I'm rocking 10k and 30 actions per minute to try and keep infantry going like crazy madmen in an effort to make sure that I did not die to him.
And here I just drive these tanks back into the infantry blob, and I'm like, oh no, wait, there was something there. So I drive him over here, and then there's another infantry blob right there.
And I'm starting to transfer some of the newly introduced riflemen to expand the blobs, and what I'm actually going to do eventually is when I send them up to the ore patches at the far ends, I actually team them up so that when I go in, hit him, they will have so much there that he will literally get bottlenecked and he will be forced to do something he may not want to commit to.
In the meantime, I'm on radar tech, got my first and only helipad. I'm actually gonna go for a lab, I believe, at some point relatively soon.
You've got an advanced power coming up,
yeah, because I was
and
actually
you are pushing light tanks.
Yeah, because at this point in time, I realized that you were just on infantry, and I was like, I might just overwhelm you with light tanks and get them to soak up some damage. But
little did you know there was so many rocket troops that's not possible.
Yeah, I was completely derping there. So we've got 1 infantry blob over there, we've got 1 infantry blob over there, and then you're moving up over there as well.
This is where I start teaming them and also trying to expand them with the small death blobs that are growing from from 6 barracks production.
Yeah, because there's another infantry blob getting spawned over here, and this is kind of where I lose control of this match.
Yeah, so there's 2 blobs that will do all the damage that's going to make me at least try to tip the victory to me. There's another death blob to essentially act as defense. So I am making sure that if Doomy does come in, I am at least a bit prepared for the giant assault. And I still have 1 heavy tank, reminding you all. 1 heavy tank, that is. I don't have any more. Even though I have access to, if I do cap...
Okay, so here I'm actually moving in with my light tanks, and I'm seeing that infantry blob, and I'm like, nope, I'm out of here, because here comes the attack.
And
I'm just like, okay, fuck.
Random.
This is where I started to panic. And I was just like, I'm not surviving this, I'm not surviving this, I'm not surviving this.
And somehow you managed to pull through that. But in the meantime, I'm sending in another to come in and do some damage.
To my war factories.
And I got one of your ore trucks as well. Yep. I'm literally whittling you down as best as possible, so I'm keeping you distracted on both ends. I'm forcing you into a corner. You've got no choice in the matter.
Nope.
That you're even having to send in your only hind, which is going to get shot down.
Yeah.
And it's going to die over the bleeding... It's going to die over the ore truck. So you've got no ore trucks anymore. I've killed off all your vehicles. So you've got practically now, really, to do anything.
I do have 1 ore truck here. And there's the lab. I was actually gonna go for Tanya. I just at this point in time I realized he was only on infantry, so I thought
after I told him
Tanya. Yeah, okay, you told me, but I needed Tanya. And I thought to myself, I have 2 more barracks. I should be able to get Tanya. I'm actually trying to get him from the northern barracks, and I was still getting some vehicles, light tanks. And this is where I just like, I need Tanya, I need Tanya, I need Tanya. Sell, sell, sell. So I had no refineries anymore, and I just needed Tanya.
So much Tanya that it's not even worth it. And I had powered him down. He's only on 1 power plant left, so he is really swinging on it. And I managed to destroy the
lab as well.
Tech center. However, it is too late because I start getting shredded. So what I eventually did was, because of the fact that the pillbox still had somebody in, and somehow, for some really, really odd reason, after I got the heavy tank in, he ejected Tanya. So what I did was, I focused fire on the camo pillbox, and then I went for a crush while it was firing, killed Tanya by it, just kept focus firing.
That was a great strategy. What I was actually trying to accomplish was get Tanya inside of the pillbox. But then I saw the tank coming, I was like, nope, nope, out of here, out of here.
Unfortunately, it was too late. The defense blob has started to get into effect, and the sellout begins.
Yeah, this is where I call the GG. I realized, okay, I'm broke as hell. I've got nothing. And, you know, he just keeps on producing infantry, to a point where I just can't keep up anymore.
I was rich in that game. Like, I was incredibly rich, as you see in the stats. I may have killed a lot of infantry, but I also took a lot of deaths. But I managed to destroy more than what Umi did. So I had essentially more assets than he did. And I've only just seen this now, but look at the score.
Jesus. 90,000 in assets destroyed.
That is vicious, man. And I was earning over 1k this minute. So I was earning like 5k a minute, and I was still like running low on money. I had loads of money, and all I was doing was just spamming rifles and rockets like a crazy maniac.
Yeah.
That was all I was producing, because that was all I could produce
I'm surprised
And
that I'm actually surprised that for the first couple of minutes we were exactly the same on eco.
yeah, and we actually, like, before even recording this, we were just going crazy. Like, I ended up actually thinking I was going to have a heart attack after the fact that we had just... I managed to survive a huge assault that Doomy made. Doomy would have beaten me had he had just kept more pressure going at bigger amounts and just kept that going and going and going until I eventually ceased. And he would have got me had he had more to deal with my infantry. Which is why I think had he had went artillery, he might have had a better chance at going for these giant death blobs of infantry that I keep getting.
Definitely, but like I said, I was way too focused on like my tier 0 and repair depot tech to really do much anything else. And I was actually just too afraid to expand because I saw those death blobs of infantry of his, and I was just like, they could be there, they could be everywhere. I didn't dare to scout, I didn't dare to like blind expand.
I had no scouting information either, other than what that flak gave of where the bleeding hell there was a war factory that may give me a chance, but it was all in vain. But when we eventually got where I was having this turning point, I was amazed that I even survived that. And me and Doomy, I like to think of us as, we're good friends, but I am his nemesis in OpenRA.
Thus far I'm still yet to beat Flamewh33l, that much I will admit. And the last couple of matches before this were just an utter slaughterfest on his behalf to me. Like, everything that I did went wrong, and everything that he did went right, and I was just like, nope.
And yet somehow with this game, had I had one more slip up and Doomy had artillery to add to his victory, he would have actually, for the first time in God knows how long he's faced me, he would have actually won it. Yeah. He was so close. He managed to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. And as much as that's really, really bad on his part, but really, really good on my part, I have to commend you for that. That was amazing.
Thank you. Well, anyway, before I'm going to close off this video, I'm actually recording this on a live stream, hence why you see the chat there as well, and the scrolling text below the video screen. I'm hosting an OpenRA tournament, and tonight is the last chance you have to sign up. And by the time that this video goes up, registration will be closed. I was actually doing this live stream to hype up the tournament, to be like, hey guys, you can still sign up, and when I stop the stream, which is going to be in like 15 minutes or so, registration closes. And by the looks of it, we're going to have a 16 people tournament. The original plan will commence, which is going to be 2 weeks. We're going to be starting on July 1st at 10 AM GMT, which is 12 PM Central European Time. And tomorrow, when this video will actually go live, I will be working on the seeding for the tournament in terms of who's going to play against who, and on which days and on which times, as well as starting to inform the players on their starting times and such. Maybe get some information from the players in regards of like where are they from, when did they start playing OpenRA and such.
With me, proofreading makes sure that at least Doomy has got everything correct.
As much as possible, indeed. But anyway, Flamewh33l, this has been a very fun match. I definitely worked up a sweat. Even just re-watching this, I worked up a sweat.
Well, that's a surprise, because apparently I'm not periperating from this at all. Like, just seeing this, I'm going like, wow. At least I'm not having the same effect that I had when I was playing this game, because, my god, I think I probably would have fell out of my seat with a heart attack. That would be how bad this was. I would probably have to be rushed to a hospital.
Oh boy, let's not hope that, because you're participating in the tournament. I need you.
Yep, you do need me. You need me for bidding, and you need me for games.
Indeed, indeed. But anyway...
But other than that, that really was good fun, and I really hope we can have another one of these jaw-dropping games again.
Well, I plan to invest more time into OpenRA now that I have a daytime job, so I can stream more often. But that's gonna be after the tournament.
Yeah.
So
and
anyway,
that's what we look forward to.
Anyway, I hope that you've all enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up. It helps out a great deal. And I'm gonna leave a link in the movie description to the topic of the tournament, and I will be adjusting the first post once I've written everything. So that it will show like who's participating in which matches and whatnot. So there's plenty of stuff to read. Now I hope that you will join us for the tournament, which will be streamed live in its entirety on my channel.
With probably so scared hosting to make sure more views happen.
And 5Ace is gonna be there as well, and we're gonna have just a great time, because it's gonna be the second time I am hosting a tournament. But anyway, my name is Hecthor Doomhammer. I thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.
Bye bye!